So if you've missed any of our previous videos for the quilt blocks, I'm going to be referring you back to one of the first videos, which will give you an overall view of the Walkabout Quilt-a-long. So if you've missed any of that, make sure you go back to the beginning. There's going to be a link in the description for that first video. That will give you all the details that you need, as well as the information on how you can get a copy of the PDF patterns that we are going to be using during this. You can also head to my website at Patchwork Posse, and then in the search, look up Walkabout Quilt-a-long, and all of those blog posts will show up to help you get you on track and catch you up. Let's go ahead and jump right in and take a look at what block we are going to be sewing today. All right, for this quilt, we're going to be sewing the Flying Geese units. I know there are ways you can do the Flying Geese units pretty quickly, but for this quilt, I'm just sewing them individually. There's not too many, so it's not super terrible. And then you'll notice on the pattern, it has side pieces, but I won't be adding those quite yet. So just depending on where this block is in the quilt, that will determine whether or not you need those. I am just going to take my B pieces because I have everything labeled, and I am going to draw a line from corner to corner on each one of these blocks. So if you want to save yourself a step, you can use the marking tape on your machine, and that makes this go by a lot quicker, so you don't have to take time doing this. But if you don't have that and you really want a guide for your sewing, then go ahead and take the time to mark on the wrong side a line diagonal from corner to corner with a pencil. When that's all done, we are going to take it to the sewing machine and start sewing. All right, I'm going to show the process for one of these, and then you can just repeat that for each of your flying geese that you need. So the first thing is to take your flying geese. This is going to be the color of the center point, and then these squares are the outside points. So I'm just going to stitch on that drawn line. And because I'm not wasting anything here, I'm going to pivot and stitch a second line. And I am going to cut right down the center of those two sewn lines, and that gives me a free half square triangle. So this I'm just going to set aside for later. So now I have half of my unit done. I'm going to just finger press this and make sure it lays flat and nice. I'm going to lay my second square in the corner. You're going to notice that it does overlap. That's exactly what you want to see. That gives you a nice point. So I'm going to sew on the drawn line. And I'm going to stitch another line. And I'm going to cut right in between the two. I'm going to take this to my ironing board, and I'm going to press that, but that is how you can get one flying geese unit at a time, and you just need to follow the process for all of these. When you are complete and these are pressed, you do need to double check the sizes and make sure they are squared up properly.